lovely, lovely people. This is Ammah Duncan, founder of the Fabulous Woman Network, coming to you live in our sacrum. Okay, this is not live, but you know what I mean. It's time for what? Mind Your Business. So this is my weekly podcast where we get to talk about business, leadership, and anything that concerns us, our growth, so that we can create wealth and impact people. And so Tuesdays at 12 noon GMT, I come to you on YouTube. Today, I have a guest. I have been privileged to work with this fabulous African woman for maybe a year or a year and a half. I've lost count now. She's one of my coaching clients, and I'm excited that she gets to talk about what she's doing and her beautiful, beautiful story. Before I go to her and, obviously introduce her and all that, I just want to ask you, do you know, me ladies, that we are bringing Fab Readers Club back? Well, this time, it's not just readers, So I observed, for those of you who've been following us, we've had 3 clubs of Fab Readers Club where we read a book for a couple of months and we meet and we discuss the book and we learn and all. And I realized that, yes, the strategy that we've been using, or the tactics, or whichever word, is to grow through reading, right? And that was my main thing. I mean, it's for us to read. But the goal is really not just to read, it's to grow as women. And so in this club, we've been growing through reading and practicing them, and then coming to give feedback, reflecting on our learnings and all. And we are also networking, and supporting each other in this group. So I was thinking, it's not just a readers club, ladies. It's a leaders club. So on that note, we've rebranded Fab Readers Club to Fab Leaders Mastermind. And this is for a small group of women leaders who want to challenge themselves to grow. So we read, we apply the learnings, we meet twice a month online, and we have sessions where we are talking about what we've learned, where we are challenging ourselves, and we are holding each other accountable as well. So the next club is starting in May, and I'm going to put in the caption, check it out. If you believe you are one of the few women leaders who should be part of the next Fab Leaders Mastermind, then I invite you to join us. I look forward to hanging with you for the next couple of months. And it doesn't end there. Afterwards, we continue in a private WhatsApp group for Fab Women Leaders. So you get to meet other women leaders who have been through our various programs. We have amazing women there from all over the world, women leaders, corporate women, professional women in business. They are all in there. And we'll get to continue networking and supporting each other in that group. So click on the link, check it out, or you can call or WhatsApp us on +233 244 339970, and let's talk. But for today, who are we interviewing? Let's see. Her name is Ofosua Daaku Ammah. She's the founder of Fusias Hearts. After graduating with a BSc Electrical/Electronic Engineering from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Ofosua built a career in the FMCG industry and is currently a Regional Innovations Project Management Office lead in a multinational company. Along the way, Ofosua realized her creative passions in art, food, skincare, and fashion could be utilized beyond being, a mere hobby or personal solutions for herself. And so she founded Enosua Hearts, a company that pours their hearts into their art. Absolutely. I am a client as well, and I know what she's saying is true. That's just by the way. Currently, Ofosua, through Enosua Hearts, focuses on bringing her Bible inspirations to others, which she has been circulating since 2018 by placing her clients' preferred Enosua Hearts Bible inspirations on gift items or creating Bible inspirations for them on request. Enosua's Hearts also creates digital images for individuals and businesses after Ofosua realized how hard it was at times to find just the right image online to use as needed. Enosua's Hearts can be contacted via WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, or email, and they are delighted to serve you. Yes, when they served me, I was really happy with their services. In fact, I was really, really super happy. And I'm so happy that I want you to know them as well and know Ofosua, the lead, and what it is that they are doing. Of course, in the bio as well, you get all the contact details that you can use to reach it. So ladies, gentlemen, you know how we do it. Relax and let's enjoy Mind Your Business.
Thank you so much, Amma, for having me.
Sure. So how are you doing?
Doing great, doing awesome. And let me steal your words, doing fabulous. So,
as for fabulous, it belongs to all of us who share. So today we want to know more about you and all these amazing things you're doing. I mean, I just read your bio so people know who you are just a bit. I mean, of course, you've had years of your life and we just spoke about you a bit. Let's start this interview by talking about the Young of Fusia. Tell us about some of your experiences and the things, the key ones that have shaped the Ofosua we see today.
Well, some of the key, as with everybody, there are a lot of experiences that shape us. But for me, when it comes to Enosua Heart, I would always go back to my very early days, like 4, 5, like that early. And with one of my earliest memories, I grew up with quite very talented people, not quite, very talented people. I was surrounded by them, and I think that's triggered what people see in me today. So first of all, there's my brother, the first one of Ofusu. I'm the third of 3 children. And I remember when we were younger, he would draw a lot and get a lot of compliments. So as the youngest, seeing my big brother getting compliments, like I wanted some too. So I went to him and said, "Oh, Ofosu, teach me how to draw," because he was getting compliments for his drawing. And I remember quite well, I think one of my very earliest memories, I can't help but say that he helped me draw a human face and a body. I had like oval eyes. And I remember the nose so well. It was an upside down 7. And that's where my drawing, should I say, career or path started. Then when it came to writing as well, my brother, the one after the first one, his name is Kwame Trisu, right? Well, he's a really good storyteller. He could write stories, series, even as a young child, and even comics. So I remember going to him after hearing all the compliments he had received. So yeah, teach me how to write, or can I write with you? There was even a time he let me continue a comic he had started. I felt so proud of myself. I was so young then. I was probably lower primary. So things that have shaped me started from then. I mean, obviously, I had been drawing in school, in a number of places. And when I get compliments, I think it fuels me more and I enjoy it better. So glad I got those compliments. Otherwise, I don't know where it would have passed, especially as being someone who has a lot going on. Like I'm good at maths, I'm good at project management, I love drawing, there's a lot. I write poems, I write stories. So it's just amazing seeing how from the get-go my brothers were an influence. Later on in life, I realized my parents were also quite creative, even though they were teaching in the sciences. I didn't realize that till later. And then I also realized that even though as workers, most people go into one career or the other, I ended up doing engineering because I loved maths, one of the things I also love. And moving on to that career, I realized that all the other creative sides of me were not being used. And I continue to use them somehow. I feel like something's your passion. It will find a way to find you. You can't stop doing it. So I couldn't stop drawing. And yeah, here we are today.
Wow. So today you are actually an electrical engineer working for a multinational brand. And you are also drawing, and I mean, thank you. Let me just say publicly that I wish people could see it. The mug that we had during our conference, you designed the beautiful woman. And yesterday, someone was asking me, Amma, why didn't you do like a bald-headed woman like yourself?
I thought of it.
You also did. I'm not going to go into why, but anyway, so thank you for drawing that for us. And, like electrical engineering, drawing women and drawing, using Bible quotations to create beautiful art. And, those your signature pencils that you even use. And it's just so beautiful. And I wonder what inspired an electrical engineer to start a company called Enusua's Hearts?
So, my colleague engineers would argue that I'm an engineer by training only, because I went into one of the many engineers who didn't end up actually practicing engineering as much. But yes, I think that was a great experience because it made me see the transferability of skills. A lot of the things I studied engineering has made me an awesome project manager. A lot of the project management skills I have now is making me an awesome planner, even with my drawings. It's amazing. And I even look at it, what is the risk? And I'm like, chill. So I'm very grateful for the really rich background that I have. Some people look at it as a bit scattered, but I can see how it all played in. Now, why Enusua's Hearts? As I said earlier, the creativity kept coming out some way, somehow. And Enusua's Heart never really started out as a business. It started from a place in my life where I was struggling. I remember I was really stressed, and I went to God, and I don't know, I had my journal open. I've been journaling forever, thanks to my brother as well. I think the writing started from there. And all of a sudden, as I was perhaps talking to myself or talking to God in my mind, an image came to mind of a woman throwing a bucket of water. So literally throwing the water out of the bucket. So it's like a swinging fashion. That image came to mind. And then the verse came to mind. Cast your cares upon the Lord, for he cares for you. And even now, when I think I am getting goosebumps, I drew the woman, and I wrote the verse. And that was a very first Enosua sketch as you see today. So most of the time you see it in mostly 2 or 3 parts. There's always a Bible verse, there's always a sketch, and the additional third part may be a thought that helps me explain what I felt or saw in the moment. So those sketches really are an expression of a thought, a Bible verse, or an image that I have in that moment that I'm drawing it. It's not my forever interpretation of it, but in that moment. And as I said, I didn't start as a business. I posted that one November 2018. I think that would be like one of my key months in my business career, November 2018. I got a few compliments, feedbacks. I said, compliments do drive me. I won't hide about that. I think it's a good thing when you know what drives you. Yeah. And then I sketched a few more and shared a few more on Instagram, and then realized that people were asking where. So I said, okay, you know what? I realized, and there's a lot of realizing this because it really was about realization all along. I realized that I may not have been able to pray for an hour, but I could sketch for hours. And in that moment, I had paused. I would pause with God. And as I was sketching those figures or writing the verse, I could still myself and just be in God's presence, or just still myself and focus on what he can do versus what is around me. And when I shared those verses, I read that people also felt similarly and were drawn in. So between 2019 to 2021, almost every day I would post a sketch, and very soon people were like, why publish? Make it into a book. I want one. Can I print this? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should. So I started out Enusua's Heart more like a charity. And this a lot of people don't know. I have to make a lot of noise about it. For every item you buy, 5 cedis goes into a fund, which is a 10,000 cedi fund that we're trying to build and give to a societal need at the time. Every item you buy, 5 cedis. So that's where it started. But later on, I realized that, I could build it even bigger. So Enusua's Heart is the place where we pour our heart, our very heart, into our art. And it houses not only my sketches, but a lot of the other creative things that I love. There are so many, I won't list them. You know quite a number, but yes, that's where it is. Now we're focusing on the Bible inspirations and digital images, which is useful because even normally in school or at work, you're looking for an image, like the image you wanted for your mug, you cannot find it online, or you find it online, there's whole copyright restrictions, then I'll draw it myself. Like, oh, somebody could use this. And that's how we are at this sketching stage with the digital images and the Bible inspirations with the pens. The pens is just to show the colors that I use. I don't know how that came about, honestly, but I really love it.
So it's just to show the colors. I really thought, but it's become your thing now, because every time I see the pens, I know this is Enosua. Oh, I see. That's beautiful. So you are actually in full-time employment, but you're using all the gifts and talents God has given you in different places. And I'm sure there's someone probably like you who is sitting in some nice office, even though earning so much money, but there's a part of her that just wants to do something else. And that's what you're doing. And through this, I mean, what you're doing, I always say things like this, it's a ministry. I don't just call it a job, like it's a whole ministry on its own. And I wonder if you can share some of the impact that this business has had since you started.
Wow. I am truly humbled whenever I speak about the impact, because I never, first of all, started out with this in mind or even imagined. It started out with someone just doodling, you know. Yes, it came from a very personal place, but it isn't what I thought it would. So, thankfully for me, having shared these pictures with people almost, I have a WhatsApp broadcast I shared on Instagram and Facebook almost every day. Well, when I used to post every day, and people would forward it to others. And some of the people who forwarded it to others would reach out to me and said, look, I just got this compliment. And some of them were so humbling. Somebody would say, this is just what I needed today. Some of the series and sometimes I'll do series, because sometimes you can't just do a Bible passage, a verse, you want to do a whole passage and follow it a bit. Somebody will say, you are speaking to my situation right now, and I can feel God here. There was a time I'm very passionate about mental health. I feel it's for want of a better expression, tragedy that in church, it is not something that we are big on, but it affects everybody, whether you're Christian or not. So I started a series, Mental Health Awareness. And the number of conversations that got going just because I had posted some interpretation of scripture that I thought spoke to a mental health issue or whatever it was, is just for awareness, has been humbling. I don't think I'll be able to pick up the phone. I'm very talkative. I love that. I think it's one of my gifts. I think God created me, giving this talkative side. But these pictures are a really good trigger. And I love the way it not only touches me, as I said, mostly comes from a very personal space, but it also has allowed me to rule and reign with God on this earth. Allow people to feel his presence and his influence and his impact. So when it comes to these sketches, more than a gift, it really is what God has to say to you, to me in this moment.
Wow, that's fabulous. So I see two things here. You doing something you genuinely love and do it effortlessly, using the Bible that you're passionate about. And then on the other hand, the person receiving it is probably going through something, and on that day, God decides, okay, my daughter or my son needs to read this. And guess who came to draw it and then just put it in a different way, and then this person is blessed by it. That's just amazing. And I'm wondering what will happen if all of us, in spite of the offices that we find ourselves in, we utilize our talents to be a blessing to others. It will just be so beautiful. And God bless you. God bless you for what you do. You do it. It's so different. I don't think I've ever seen your kind of art, the way you do it. It's so unique to you, and the signature bits about it. Everywhere I go, I see those pens, and you have a
like
drawing your African women. You do the proper.
Yes, that actually has a story behind it. Somebody, why your women always so fat? And I'm like, well, I think we are human. We are also in the system. So.
I know, right? Yeah, but it's really refreshing and it's encouraging to someone who is sitting and thinking, oh, I have this talent, but I'm too busy. There is always something, when you were speaking, you talk about how sometimes you can just draw for hours. And I'm sure for you, it's also therapeutic, even for you.
Extremely.
Exactly. And then it doesn't end with you, but it ends up being a blessing to someone else. So that's just amazing. God bless you for doing that and continuing. And so tell us, for the sake of someone who is listening and doesn't know you already, when you draw this, how does it come out? Like, what do you do it on? Do you use canvas? How do we see the work that you do?
When you see an Enosua's Heart Bible inspiration, at least for the Bible inspiration is quite unique. It normally is in a notebook with ruled lines, because that some of my earlier pictures you would actually see some prayers on the left side or the right side on the other page. It was my personal time where I'd write my prayers to God, because saying it, I just get distracted. So one of the people.
I know, right?
So I almost always draw in pen, ink, and then no pencils.
Really?
Ever.
Why did I assume you drawing? Come to think of it, I know in my head it's pencil, but now that you are talking about
it's ink. Yes, it's ink. It's always ink. Even the colors you see are ink. So usually you find the pen that I used at any point in time there, and all the other colored pens that are also arranged there. You would normally find some sort of abstract sketch. Usually you find someone with no face. I tend, not all the time, I tend to draw my figures female and sometimes naked. Not naked as in you see all their body parts, but you see a frame of them and it doesn't have a skirt or a shirt. You just see a form, because I feel we are all naked before God. We can't hide. And we are his bride. So that's why I use a female. And female figure is also very interesting to draw. No apologies there. So you find that, or you find other things, and you find animals, but you would find the verse in capital letters. Capital letters. There's a story to everything, so I'll try not to go and explain everything, but in capital letters, the verse, and if there's a thought, you find that one too. Obviously, the pens are arranged on the side. I'd love to speak to that, because initially people were like, where's your logo? And I did not want to make it about me, about Ofosu. I wanted you to focus on what I had drawn. So the pens were a way to not only show the colors that I use, because I really love colors, but just one of those things that don't really draw your mind away from what is sketch versus a signature that had the Enosua's Heart on it somewhere. So that's what you normally see, ruled lines and things. But with the digital images, which I've recently incorporated with the Bible inspiration, it's a little easier, because then you can make it a bit more malleable for customized orders. So there's somebody said, this one, make it bigger, it's easy to move it around. So literally the same thing, 3 parts, a thought or two, a Bible verse for sure, and an image guaranteed. That's what you normally see if you're looking for an Enosua's Heart Bible inspiration.
I see. Fabulous. I have my mug, and I know that I'm ordering something else for someone, and I cannot say it because so. And we'll talk about it shortly. But for women in business, a majority of the women in our network are in business, or they are corporate women leaders and all. You are a corporate woman doing a business, have a full-time family. So your life is very full at this moment. Can you share some tips and tricks, a few that has helped you really be more effective as a woman leader? Can you share something with us?
Yes. Yes. I think this is dear to my heart because it's my reality now. Buy time. Just buy yourself time. And it doesn't even have to cost you money. And that's why I get really excited. There are two sayings that have guided me in this. There is a former colleague I have who is really good at Excel. And when I was working with her at some point, she would say, Ofosia, there's always a faster way. If you ever feel like this thing is taking too long, this thing is so hard, or this anything that just sounds like, just remember there's always a faster way. That's the first point of call. That discomfort is a trigger that there's always a faster way. The other saying is Google is your friend. That was an uncle sent it to me years ago in an email. And that has also helped me a lot. A lot. When you discover there's something has to change because there's always a faster way, you start asking people, oh, how can I do this faster? Or what can I do? Or if you have no one to ask, you go straight to Google, or someone gives you some tip. Like recently, I was spending hours and hours posting on social media, status, the WhatsApp group, the broadcast. It just took up so much time in a day just to get one post out. So I remember speaking in a group and one lady said, this one, you should be able to schedule. I'm like, oh, but I can't afford to buy a scheduling app now. Or anyway, I don't want to buy one now. Then I Googled free scheduling apps 2022. And I got a whole list of, this one is paid but has a free version. I read about it and I chose the one that was good for me. So I think for women in business, especially when you're starting out and you don't have, let's say, a lot of employees or a lot of time on your hands, please remember there's always a faster way, and Google is your friend. You'll be amazed at what you find, because when you feel uncomfortable, it's a trigger that there's something can be bettered. And usually it's just at your fingertips on your phone, your laptop, or asking a friend. This I will tell anybody and everybody in it, especially when you're in business. There's always a faster way. Google is your friend.
There is always a faster way. Google is your friend. And you know, what you're saying sounds so basic, but it's such a lifesaver. And it changes everything.
I wish people could see my face like, hey!
So when someone comes
off my head.
When someone says, I don't know how to do something, I'm thinking, no, that's not it. Have you asked Google? You know, like somebody says, oh, am I in your eyebrows? I'm like, Google, YouTube, you know.
Hey, some of us would not have been able to survive a day makeup if it wasn't for that.
Absolutely. So yeah, what you're saying, and I really hope it's speaking to someone. It may sound so basic, but just do it. I mean, that's the first thing you should do. Do your own search first, and then of course you can, if you need further help and you need to pay someone, but there's always something you yourself can do. Absolutely. Thank you. That's really a great tip for any woman, especially when you have multiple roles, your life is full and you really need to buy more time. Yeah, there are easier ways to make it happen. Thank you for sharing that. Now, before I let you go, there are some questions I want to ask you. You just have to, it's a fill in the blank, and then you just ask whatever comes to mind. 3 questions. First one, if I could advise my younger self in one short sentence, I would say,
when God created you, he made absolutely no mistakes. His plans are wonderful.
Thank you. I am fabulous because
I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Like,
and I wish people could see your smile as you say this. The final question is, one book that has greatly helped me in business is?
We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. I owe that read to you.
I feel like every time I interview a client of mine, she mentions this book. Yeah,
it's
all right.
Once in a century, there are books that create waves. I remember when A purpose-driven life created waves. I remember when leaning created waves. I read that book later. Like, no wonder everybody was talking about it. This book turned on a lot of lights in me, and yes, definitely has influenced how I do business today. Yeah, we should all be millionaires by Rachel Project.
Fabulous. And one day, God, I know I will meet Rachel. I will interview her. I'll meet her or something. And all of you ladies.
If I will come and type, I read your book because of Ammah.
Did you say type? We will go and sit together and have lunch or something.
Thank you. You are speaking my language, Ammah, one of my passions. Lunch is a very good word.
You know what? I've been following your posts where you post about food and so on. I'm just Kumasi feeling all hungry. What is that? Anyway, Ofosia, so what's happening in Enosua's Hearts that you want us to be a part of right now?
Very soon we'll be having our Mother's Day package where you can show your mom some love with either her favorite Bible verse, or if you're not interested in a Bible verse, some specially crafted poem for your mom. And it won't come out of the blue. I'll ask you a few questions and try and get something that you really want to say to your mom and write it out for you and add a sketch. And you can put on any gift item that you know your mom would appreciate. Some are wall frames, some are mugs, let's just have that conversation. It will be live very soon if it's not already live. And it would be nice to have that conversation and really surprise your mom in a very personalized and special way. Also in the future, I want people to look out for this big event that I've been brewing over and planning. I told you I love food, so you'd find me at some eatery as a pop-up, and you can come talk with me, maybe even tell me what you want, go and have your meal, come back and have a sketch waiting for you, or you have your order placed. So really interactive things coming up. And yes, as my creative juices come, there'll be more, but these two are on the radar, and please do look out for them.
I definitely love the Mother's Day idea. It will be customized and personalized. So based on the experience you've had with your mother, you get to just speak those words to her in an art form or in a text or picture, whatever works. I think it's such a beautiful gift, like so thoughtful for any deserving mother. And gosh, there are a gazillion deserving mothers out there who would that's such a beautiful idea.
I think one thing that really triggered this for me, and I'd love to share it, is when you speak with people about their mothers, they always have something that they can't just let go, that reminds them of my mom. Or my mom always said Psalm 91. Or my mom always loved roses. Or it's nice to give back to your mom in that way, knowing that this particular verse may even be my favorite, or even not so much. My child remembers that I love it. Or this particular item I also feel there's a real lack of Christian-centric gifts in our world, aside of the world. So this is a great opportunity to latch on before the industry gets any bigger. But yes, just touch your mom with the way she's touched you. I mean, if it's not a Bible verse, definitely there's something that we can write about in a beautiful poem, just to let her know.
That's beautiful. And then, of course, the pop-up idea is cool. Like, imagine I walk into the restaurant, I see you with that your beautiful smile, and then I tell you what I want. Go eat some nice jollof, and then by the time I come out, my art piece is ready. I think that's such a beautiful idea, and I pray that in due time, God opens that door for you to make that happen as well. So for someone listening and saying, okay, where can I order? Who do I see? What do I do? Ammah, tell me. So for sure,
I am excited to have you, all my new clients listening. So I'm reachable in 3 ways. On Facebook and Instagram, you would just search for @Fusias Hearts. So Eno as a mother, Suya as in the end of my name, so it's actually Young of Fusia. So ENOSUAS, Enosua Hearts, HEART. both on Instagram and Facebook. However, if you want to contact me directly on WhatsApp, it is 02000 92755. Or, depending on where you are, +233 2000 92755.
Wait, let me write the number down. 02123 what?
92 755.
Hey, it sounded a lot, but it's true. 1, 2, 3. It sounds a lot, but it's actually true. Oh my God. Right. 02000 92755. Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, yeah. So speaking of which, it means that if someone is actually outside Ghana, they can actually order, right?
Yes, they can. Thanks to this global village that we call the internet and how people are expanding in service nowadays, some items may be produced proudly in Ghana, but other items, because mostly you would be buying my art on the items, can be produced quite close to you, depending on the store that's available. So I'm trying to expand that scope. Currently on Teespring. However, I'd love to get that personal vibe in as much as possible. So once you reach out to me on WhatsApp, I would find a store near you. Trust me, you can get that item. Yes.
Fabulous. I think, and as you were even speaking, I was thinking about people living abroad whose parents are here and they may want to gift them. This is such a beautiful gift. I used to make hampers and it used to be a struggle to find gifts for people, like personalized gifts. So it's really good to know this is what you're doing. And I know there are people out there who need you specifically. So thank you so much. Thank you for making time to have this conversation with me today, Ofosua. I wish you the very, very, very best in all that you're doing. God is blessing the fruits of your labor. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Don't you just adore Ofosua? That was such a beautiful conversation, short but sweet. And I love the tips she shared as well. And frankly, for someone who is not super creative with my own hands, right? I admire people who can think about something and use their hands to create it. I think what she's doing is so unique. Imagine giving a gift that is so personalized using either the person's favorite Bible quotation or quote or something, and it's personalized to them. I think that's just so beautiful. And I feel so privileged to know such a fabulous Ghanaian woman like Ofosua. If this is something you need, Mother's Day is coming up. If you haven't decided already, this is a nice opportunity. Or even if you've thought of something and you want to add this gift on, why not? Your mom deserves this and more. And when we say Mother's Day, it's not just your mom. It could be your wife, your sister, your friend, somebody who has been instrumental in your life as a mother figure, anyone. This is a great gift to give to them. You support Ofosua's business so that she can grow as an African business, while you also gift something amazing to someone you really care about. So it's a win-win. All right, me ladies and me gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to share this audio. Well, it's video actually, but audio to someone else. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I look forward to our next conversation. Same time next week. Ta!